All right, now we're going to be playing the mirror matchup. And so my DPS has talked about this beforehand with me, and they want to healer race. So I have to play picture perfect defensively with my positioning and cooldowns, and also balance being in range of them in case they get swapped to either behind a pillar or if they get slowed and are trying to connect to the kill target. This is going to be a very fast paced game. I should probably... No, I think beacon on the DPS here is fine. We're up like, I don't know, 100 rating almost, or 70 or something. Holy Shock, Bestow Faith, I want to keep max range. I end up beaconing myself here. I'm starting to learn from my mistakes. Free mount, I noticed that my DK had like already gotten to the Paladin and is pumping him, and that my warrior is midfield with a slow on him. So at this point in the game, I can tell that they're kind of looking to kill my DPS and not me. So I freed up my warrior so that I can get to the healer instantly. And now I'm instantly aura mastering into Fleshcraft in case they want to swap to me. I do end up full channeling it. I bop my warrior out of the asphyxiate, and now I'm just casting heals on him. I should have the beacon on him, although I'm very worried that that I'm gonna get swapped to. Now my DPS are behind a pillar. They're pressing Apocalypse. The warrior has their cooldowns going. We end up trading Rally, Icebound Fortitude, and AMS. I know that my DK is disarmed, so he can't actually Death Strike during this, so I'm a little scared for him. I think he's got Beacon on him, and Saved by the Light had already procced. I do have a sack, so I'm just trying to PvE heal as best I can. I Trinket the Sphere immediately because their cooldowns are still going, and I need to keep my team topped. Here we're going to be trading Parry as well, and the Rally is going to be falling soon. We have so much pressure. Not sure we've gotten anything from the Pal yet, which kind of sucks, but just PvE healing. We silence him at low health. I'm telling my teammates that I have a full Hodge for the healer when bubble ends and the DR ends, and now I'm just trying to keep my team up. I do have to like get a cast off here at some point, although I have Holy Shock and Bestow Faith coming up. You want to use Hammer or Wrath whenever possible as well. We get a full Fear on both into the Fear on the healer. I get the Hodge off. He has Human for it rather than Trinkets. And trying to connect, I'm telling my team I'm trying to get to them, get to the Paladin, that I have a blind for the DPS. And they're calling out that the Paladin is going to die here. He ends up bopping this go. I can't stop it. I have one bop. I bought my warrior on the Fury Warriors cooldowns. Really strong. You want to trade cooldown for cooldown. Hitting DK a little bit. He gets to 1 HP. I'm going to blind the healer full. The warrior trinkets. And I full sack my warrior and war stomp off of the blinding light. And we won by randomly swapping the DK with no cooldowns because he got low cleaving and trying to chase. Just bubble this, keep my team topped, and we just rotated our defensives better than they did. We caught them with their pants down, probably did more damage as well. But in the mirror matchup, definitely just make sure you have Beacon on the right target. Don't trade too much, but make sure you want to, like, if whenever possible, you want to bop the Fury Warriors cooldowns because he has to Shattering throw it off, and you want to try to Aegis with the DK's grabby hands as well. Alright, let's jump into another RMP game. I haven't learned from my previous mistake, as I still have Beacon on my DK. I'm going to try to build some Holy Power up, and again, just Aura Mastery into Fleshcraft as soon as possible in the game. This is very good versus Rogues as well, because then you have 3 seconds to get combat on the healer so that you can't get sapped. So I'm kind of questionably... I'm in a questionable spot. Like, if the rogue had sprinted to sap me, he would have been able to get it, but for the most part, they're going to try to sap the DK and go me. I wish that I would have Beacon on myself. I literally haven't learned yet. I must be so tired. I think I was still finishing, like, my caffeine at this point. We get double DB'd into ring. It's not very good. My warrior pre-Blade Storms to go and then disarms the rogue out of it. This guy is so cracked. Literally shut down the entire go. My DK instantly silences the mage. I'm full polyed, and we are chilling at this point. I end up getting quarter feared, or just feared because I have the consecration Lego. I'm going to full hodge on the priest, and we're going the rogue for a bit, even though he presses evasion instantly. Asphyxiate him during it. We're going to AMZ on combustion. They're swapping to me, and this is where I wish I had my beacon on myself. I instantly wall, and I'm going to be fine because we have AMZ during combustion. And the rogue didn't pop shadow blades, I believe. He faints. We have so much pressure here. You just want to get whatever CC off you can and just pump damage. We get a nice double grip. I'm going to blind both here. Really good blinding light by me. It ends up breaking on the mage. And now I'm staying a bit further back because I want a PvE heal. I believe the mage's blink stun. So I trinket sack this go, they get the mind games off, and they swap to me, and this is where I'm crying that I don't have beacon on myself. I'm telling my teammates I'm fine though, because I have Vanquisher's hammer charges and wings up, and so this heal is gonna be able to like top myself very hard. I did Aegis after the go was over. If I was smart enough, I would have Aegis'd beforehand, and I would have had beacon on myself beforehand, and I would have felt so much safer in this situation. Now my DPS are in a situation where they're like, oh my god, is he actually going to be okay? Like, should I trinket to save you? I'm telling them I'm fine though, even though there are two things I could have done better. I know that I'm okay because this heal is going to be absolutely insane. One word of glory puts me up from 20 to 80% HP instantly, and I have another one in the tank if you proc like a divine purpose. And so now we feel fine. I should swap beacon back to my warrior, even though we feel very safe. I get a full hodge on the priest, and we're chasing the warrior, or the rogue rather. We're just gonna keep PvEing and just trying to shut down their go. It's also very important, if you can, I don't have it on this paladin, but you want to be tracking the cooldown of like kidney shot versus these teams. I get full polyed here. We're chilling. My warrior pre-blade storm the go again because he's a monster. I instantly wall. I don't know why I'm so bad at swapping my beacons this game, but I end up having to trade bubble because we don't have AMZ back for combustion, which you want to be aware of. I don't have Aegis as well, so I end up having to trade bubble here. If I had beacon on myself, I might be a bit safer and be able to sit that, or bot myself out of it rather and save the bubble. But we end up going the rogue here. Now, at this point in the game, I know I'm the kill target. I have forbearance for the next 18 seconds. I have one bop left, so I need to live the next 18 seconds. I'm telling my teammates this. We have warrior fear. Both my DPS have trinket. I really want to have my fleshcraft shield off going into this next go on me, so that I can just have as much HP to work with as possible. But I make a very, very, very large mistake here. I end up getting the fleshcraft off, but what I do is I sit at the pillar in such a way that I'm line-of-sighting my team, and they can't really peel for me. Thank God these guys are really good at the game, and they can end up doing it anyway. But what I do here is so bad. I should be running back into my team, literally in the midfield, but look at where I'm positioned here. It is so bad. I am behind the pillar, and my teammates are on the other side. The rogue full kidney shots me with shadowy jewel up. The priest is about to be in my line of sight, just full on DPSing me, and I am so scared. I'm not in range to intervene. We can maybe hit me with rally. The DK can't grip people off of me. He gets a mind games off as well. The mage blink DBs me, or the mage blink and combusts me rather, and that was kind of hard to see, but we got the rally off. I dispelled the mind games, and now I'm going to top myself with Word of Glories. I really want to get a Vanquisher's Hammer charge off so that my next big heal will heal me like 30%. And I just by a thread end up living that go. If I had been on top of my team there, we would have been so much safer. My warrior could have potentially disarmed the rogue on his go. He gets it off now. I bought myself out, and we end up living, and the rogue is going to die here on the next go. I'm still taking just random damage, so I'm a little worried, but the rogue ends up dying there because I think he trinketed offensively as well. So, man, that was a banger of a game. I made so many mistakes. Make sure you beacon yourself and not the DK versus RMP. It is just, they're going to go you more often than not. Try to pre-Aegis a go as well. And also, make sure you're playing on top of your team. It is just so bad when you're out of line of sight and they can't peel for you. It makes their job so much harder, and your job as a healer is to make their job easier. You want to make sure they can stay alive. They have freedoms, they have bobs, they can peel for you, and they can do a ton of damage and not sit CC. So that's a really good example of what you can improve on if you're losing to RMPs versus TSG. All right, and another TSG versus jungle game. We're not going to be training the healer this time, as it is the better spec healer, Holy Priest, so they're a bit harder to kill, especially if they play the jump talent. Just going to come out of the gates and try to get some holy power up and get my Aura Mastery Fleshcraft off. Casting a flash shield. The priest playing really far away, so I feel like I have more time. Here's the Aura Mastery. Not going. I end up getting the Fleshcraft the second they open because they're not coordinated. Really good by me. I just dispel the mind games, getting my Vanquisher's Hammer charges out. They're pumping. This is PI plus BM Hunter CDs. And we end up stunning the Feral, silence on the healer. I'm going to hodge off, or blind off first. He ends up trinketing, and so I full hodge him on that. We're pumping this Feral, just disgusting amounts of damage. And he just dies in the opener. This is so good what you want to do against these teams. If you have so much pressure in the opener, more often than not, you're just going to win if the team doesn't react literally perfectly. So the priest had to Guardian Spirit and get casts off there, or not trinket the Blinding Light immediately. He also could have tried to Shadow Word Death the Blinding Light because he saw I was running at him. That would have been insane. Only like the really good priests do that, and we're only playing at like 1900 to like 2k, so I'm not really worried about it or even trying to bait it out ahead of time. And they just lost in the opener because we CC'd quite perfectly. Stun on the Feral, silence on the healer. As soon as the silence ends, I'm going for a Blinding Light. He can't greater fade it as well because he's in the silence. Make sure you don't leave a gap between those, or else he could get it off. And then as soon as he trinkets, I'm there for the Hodge, and we end up killing the Feral. Easy peasy. Alright, and now we're going to be playing against Ret Warrior. This team is going to be very hard to beat. You want to try to Aura Mastery Fleshcraft any CC you can, get your Holy Power out instantly, and I think you want to try to kill the Ret Paladin here so he can't sank the Shaman on like silence or stun. And so let's get right into it. Playing the same setup there. Blinding Light, doubles freedom. I'm getting my holy power off. The warrior is instantly popping on me, but because it's just a warrior, I'm sitting this CC. I wall at a high health. I Aura Mastery into a full Fleshcraft, and then I'll be able to walk out, although we AMZ over the spear. And so now I'm just trying to top myself. I swap Beacon at low health. I know I have a Vanquisher's Hammer charge coming up. I pressed Aegis as well to try to live this, and I get enough holy power with my Bestow Faith to top myself. We get a stun off on the healer, stun on the DP on the Paladin. Right here, I'll go back because that was pretty quick. So here, my globals are swap Beacon. I'm pressing Word of Glory. I Vanquisher's Hammer for a charge. I have a Divine Purpose proc, so I get the free Word of Glory top here with that. I get charged. I see that my that the Arsham is stunned and that the Ret is downstairs out of line of sight, so he can't sank, and now I can stun the Ret. So here I freedom myself, and I'm stunning the Ret out of line of sight, instantly pop bubble in literally a 3-second asphyxiate. So now we're feeling pretty safe. I still have bubble. I don't have any more wings. I try to blind on the way in. Doesn't end up working though. Now I'm just spamming heals and trying to get away from these DPS because they are absolutely murdering me. They don't have cooldowns anymore, so I'm not as scared, but I do just want to keep myself topped in case I get like hodged or something here soon. I'm faking a War Stomp, but I'm not quite sure if I should do it. I end up just War Stomping off of the Stormbolt. I'm going to trinket this Hodge. Sitting full Hodges really sucks. I'm considering whether or not I should bop myself here because I could just get purged, so I end up trading bubble. If I had bopped there and they purged me, I'm a sitting duck. So you got to be aware of that, like the incoming damage, whether or not you can get purged. The Shaman is literally on top of us. It would be too easy for him. So I trade up bubble here to survive. Now I have no Vanquisher's Hammer charges. I tried to line the Warrior Shattering Throw. He ends up getting it off. And now I just have to like keep running around a pillar and pray I win. In these situations, it's very important that you try to Crusader Strike as often as possible because that's the best way to get Holy Power. And the game's not going to come to mana because Crusader Strike is like the highest mana costing ability to generate Holy Power for Holy Paladins or something like that. It costs a lot. I taught myself before this. My team is peeling. We get a full silence on the healer. He doesn't have sank. They're swapping to my warrior. I get a full hodge off. He's gonna sank this, or I guess not. He's gonna bop himself out. I bought myself out of sphere, which is really strong. Now I'm just kind of PvE healing myself because I believe I am the kill target and my other DPS are pretty fine. Trying to kill the healing tide totem in the corner there. Always try to kill that. If it just ramps up, you're really sad. We didn't end up getting a kill there. We get a full Stormbolt on the Ret. And now I have full Holy Power and Vanquisher's Hammer charges, so I feel really safe. I want to get these off. I've tried to full blind the healer here. I wall at 100% health. I get very low. And we have AMZ, thankfully. I press Wings Beta Kick with Fleshcraft. I'm going to instantly Vanquisher's Hammer to top myself. That was a really good AMZ on their cooldowns. And we end up killing the Ret there. Very good rotation of cooldowns by me, and really good CC from my my DPS as well as peels, and we end up killing the Ret there. You probably just want to kill the Ret every time, if not the healer in a swap or something.